What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Shop Mini RC. I'm Ken, and today we're doing some upgrades. We got a Max Smasher and a Butcher. So we got a crawler. This guy's the crawler. It's got the crawler axles. It's got heavy brass RC all-wheel drive wheels. And then this guy's the Max Smasher with some new Endurers on it and stock beyond that. So we're gonna throw some stuff on it. Some Nexx racing stuff. So we got some new axles. Let's check it out. So like I said, this guy's set up on the crawler chassis, crawler gears, lock diffs, and this guy's set up on the Max Smasher open diffs. Okay, we're gonna get these out of the way to make room for this stuff. So we got some gold axle casings, some axle housings, gold covers here. This is a brass rear axle and a brass front axle. We also have some brass wheel hexes, a couple different sizes. I think we got one of each of the sizes. So a plus 4mm, a plus 6mm, and a plus 5mm. So 4, 5, and 6. So we can widen up a little bit. We got some new links in gold and in silver, and then we've got new servo tray and gold servo tray. One in gold, one in black. So we're gonna get this stuff installed. I'm gonna show you. We'll just do one. I'm just gonna show one of them being done, and then yeah, we'll check it out once it's installed. Tell you my thoughts. So we've got everything here. Rear axle, and we just realized we've got the wrong thing here because we've already got the portal covers, right? We already got the portal covers, but we don't have the fronts. Oh, this one's a front. That one's a front, so we can use that. That's good. Okay, man, I got mixed up here. Oh, it's this guy. That's the one. Yeah. So we need the fronts for this. I'll have to check and see if they make a brass. But we don't need the rears since the axles come with the rears. Now they do offer these axles in different configurations. So they offer basically the full axle housing, which is the axle housing and the portal housings. They offer the axle housing with the inner portal housing, but not the outer. So if you want to change colors, you could change colors. And they offer just the axle with no portal housings at all. So just a general axle. The axle by itself is $29. The axle housing is $29.99. The axle housing with the inner portal covers without the outer covers is $42.99, and then the one with the outer covers is $45.99. So it's kind of an odd pricing structure there. You go from $42 to $45, so $3 for the outer covers. But to buy the outer covers separately, they're like $19 because they come like this, right? So this is $19.98. So if you were to buy the axle without the outer covers, you got to buy this just to get the outer covers, or you can use your stock outer covers, I guess. But for just $3 or $4 more, you can get the one with the outer covers. So unless you're trying to change colors or something, I would just get the complete axle housing. Again, without the portal covers, just the centerpiece is $29.99. So it's $30 for that, and then another $19 for the outers. So you're at $50. So if you're gonna do it all aluminum, you might as well just buy the complete set. You save a couple bucks there. Like I said, these are $20. The hub carriers by themselves are $20. So again, that's kind of equivalent to this. No, not really. It's not really the same because you still need the outer portal for the front. And that's these guys, and they are $24. So they don't offer a front with this, so you'll have to order this separately no matter what. So yeah, I get it. It's kind of odd that they make a complete rear but not a complete front. Maybe they'll add that at some point, doing the complete front with the portal covers and a complete rear with the portal covers, which they already have. But right now they don't offer that, which is especially odd for the brass, right? I actually do not see this on their website right now. I think they're still working on that. We got these sent early. I know these are early. So they're probably still working on what they're going to do for their lineups here. This is currently on the website, but without covers, and it's $62.98. So $63 for the brass, complete brass housing. So this will definitely get you some weight down low on these two guys here. We're going to try that on the crawler, see how it goes. The servo mounts are $10. So it's a pretty good price on those guys. And then the link kits here are $28.98, so $29 for the links. And with these, you should have you should be reusing your stock hardware, all the stock hardware. So these don't come with any ball joints or screws or anything. And the last little thing, just since we're talking prices, are these guys, the 4, 5, and 6 millimeter, and they're all $7, $6.98. So those are pretty good too. Good price on those guys. All right, let's go ahead and get this guy together. We're going to do this guy here on the monster truck, because you don't want to put heavy weight on the monster truck. So we're going to use the aluminum to get us some bling, I guess, in the front here. Rear, our servo tray, and our link set. And I don't know which one of these we're going to use. We'll use one of these extended hex hubs here, or hex adapters. On the monster truck, I don't know, these are pretty wide already. You could go wider. No, I don't know if we want to go wider. We'll probably just use the +4s on there. We really don't need it, because again, you kind of want to be light on a monster truck and strong, but maybe the +4s will be fine, and then we'll do like the +6s on the crawler to get a real wide stance. This guy here, that'll be even more weight. We're going to load this guy up with weight. Again, it's just all stock, so we'll see if it burns up some servos or motors. Should be fun. These wheels, they're over 300 grams total. It's nuts. We've got a video on that right over here. All right, so let's dive into this. We're going to go ahead and install this stuff right now. So obviously, first things first, we got to pull all of our wheels and tires off. So we'll come back when we're done. So we're going to start with doing the front. We'll pull all the links off and the entire axle assembly, take it apart, and we'll weigh it out as well. I'll weigh out each of the parts before we get them all installed. And that way you can kind of see the weight difference. I want to do, you know what? Before we get any further, we're going to throw all this stuff back on, just so we have an accurate weight here, especially once we get brass hexes on there and whatnot. All right, so this stuff's not even showing up as a gram, but it's there. We got our truck and our wheels and tires. So we're at 388. Okay, we'll come back to that. 388 for the whole truck. Oh, you know what? Let's just get a true here. Ready to run, accurate, ready to go. So we are at 479, ready to run. We'll come back to that later.
A few moments later.
All right, got our axle out. Just have to get our links here in a second. And take our servo tray out. Actually, we don't need to take our servo tray out. Just kidding. Oh yeah, we do. Just take the axle apart, you do. I was going to say, we have a new servo tray. We'll just use those, but you do have to take it off to be able to get the axle to separate, and we need all the goodies inside. So we'll definitely take this off. Plus, we can weigh it separate then. So that's all servo hardware. Got to pull our drive shaft off here. So we got that out. Now to get the links off, we're going to use some needle nose pliers and basically just pop the shocks off the ball joint here, and then pop the link off the ball joint. So you just got to be careful when you do it, not to crack the shocks. You don't have to squeeze them hard. It's more you're just trying to use the pliers as leverage to be able to get the shock to come off. Okay. And then you're going to do the same thing here. Actually, will we be able to just pop these off this side? Yeah, we probably didn't have to pull the shock off. So you don't have to pull the shock off, you can just come off the back side. I was worried that this piece, the stop, was going to be too large, but it's not, so you can just do it that way. Just be sure you don't mar up the balls or, you know, the links. You don't want to get them all marred up. And then these, you can just pop them off like this. Right? Be careful not to lose these little sleeves. These are actually little sleeves in the frame. And they will fall out if you're not careful. So don't lose those little guys in there. See that? Okay. So there's our front end bits and pieces. let's go ahead and open up our axle here. Don't lose those bushings either. Same type of deal, right? Okay. Funny, we actually hadn't swapped the screws on these to the backside yet, so we were probably hitting our steering links, but that's one of the first kind of upgrades you should do if you get an FCX, is move the front screws that are holding the C-hubs in to the back. That way your steering arms, or your steering links don't hit on it and basically prevent good turn. Oh, even this one, see that? See how we're hitting on it? So we need to change that. Again, these were completely stock trucks other than the wheels and tires and swapping the bodies. Okay. So normally I would do like each piece, that way I remembered how it went back together, especially if I was unfamiliar with it, right? I'd like take this apart and do this one without doing the other one. But because we're going to weigh stuff, we're going to disassemble everything. We're going to completely take it apart and weigh it out. At least as accurately as we can, just to show you the difference in what the aluminum weighs versus the stock plastic. Look at how greased that is. That's awesome. So your pinion, you just kind of push it down on the table and it'll pop out with the bearing. And we've got our axle housing. And let's go ahead and weigh that, and then we'll get into these. Front axle housing. This guy's got all the hardware in it. Not sure what that screw is for. It's probably for the rear link, is my guess. Or the rear link, the Y link. So it's kind of interesting they include the top screws here. Just because that's where your servo goes, right? Your servo tray. So we're going to pull these out, because those screws are not part of what we're doing. Oh, you know what? I just realized this is a single piece of aluminum, so it doesn't separate like this. So these axle housings separate. This one does not. This is more similar to the SCX, I guess, where it's a solid axle housing with a diff cover, which I kind of dig that. So there's that. I like that they kept that design so you can clock these if you want. I mean, the machining looks great. They're great looking axles for sure. All right, let's go ahead and let's weigh this stock plastic. So here's the stock housing and C-hubs. We're not going to do any of the hardware just because. So that's 7.89, and then our aluminum, and that's 14.65. So it's basically double the weight. So that's good. Gives you a little bit extra weight down low, because that is where you want weight if you're going to have weight. Let's get rid of our plastic here. Let's do this guy here. So that guy's 0.9, almost a gram. And this guy is 0.182. So again, basically double the weight. Almost exactly double the weight on the servo mount. I feel like they should make this in brass and these in brass. Having the full axle in brass is nice if you want a ton of weight, but the problem with brass is it sticks to rocks, right? Think about sliding over rocks with brass. It's very sticky. So ideally you want like your C-hubs, your portals, portal casings, all that kind of stuff, that can be brass, but you kind of want your axle itself to be aluminum, the axle housing itself. But it's what they have, so that's what we're checking out. So we're going to go ahead and put our ring and pinion back in. This little guy is being kind of stubborn to get in there. It's top heavy, so it doesn't want to just drop in. All right, that fits nicely. Yeah, the bearing seats in there well. So that's good, that's good. Oh no, I forgot which side the ring and pinion was on. So, of note, if you put this on one side versus the other, it'll reverse the direction of the axle. So be aware, if you put your ring and pinion back together, you put your axles back together and you get it in your truck and one axle's going the opposite direction, or they both are, things have reversed, it's because you put in your ring, essentially, on the wrong side. So just be aware. So we went back and checked our video, and it's on this side. Just for reference for you, just in case. But again, keep an eye on it so you know which direction it needs to go. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get our servo tray in. Oh, another way to tell which direction or which side your ring should be on, this will tell you. When you take this apart with the Nexx or the FMS on the front, so you know your ring is on that side. Now, if you're worried about screws backing out, you should definitely use some blue Loctite whenever you're going metal into metal. We aren't doing that yet because we're not sure if this is going to be the final kind of configuration of this right now. Plus, we are, at this point, we're very anal about checking our screws after we run and just making sure, keeping an eye on stuff that's loose, especially on the stuff that we run hard, like kind of bashing around and whatnot. You definitely want to watch that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that all feels good. So when you put your C-hubs on, make sure that when you're flat like this, right, with the output shaft being totally horizontal and your servo tray being flat, your C-hub should kind of lean forward on the bottom, right? They should be kind of angled like this. This is your caster, and the C-hubs should be A and B with the text forward. If you look at your stock C-hubs, they're also labeled A and B, but the text is on the back. But on these guys, we're going to do A and B on the front here. And again, it's just more about when this is straight, your caster should be kind of like this, not like this, right? You want it not like that, like this. When it's straight on, when everything's straight on, these have a little bit of a lean to them. All right, we're going to make sure we put the screws on the back side so that we maximize our steering angle. I do like the feel of these things. The machining and the finish is really good. Like, it's kind of hard to tell through, maybe not, maybe you can tell through the video, but it just looks super good. We're not really generally the biggest fan of like gold, right? But these look great, and I thought they'd look really good with the all blacked out, you know, Power Wagon Monster Truck. Having the gold underneath could be really cool looking, so I figured we'll do the gold and black. Should look pretty slick. They do offer other colors. They have the black, they have silver, and they have red. And you can kind of mix and match those, you know, with the C-hubs and all the different things. If you're to buy multiple sets or buy the individual packs, you can mix up any kind of red, black, silver, or gold. Hopefully in the future they'll come out with like blues and greens, maybe. We'll see how well these sell. If these sell well, I'm sure they'll make other colors. But yeah, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and we'll do our portal boxes here. Portal housings. So I like to use the shaft to try to pull out the bearings versus trying to get out with a screwdriver or a wrench. Just use whatever shaft would normally fit in there, and then you can kind of just pop it out with that. All right. All right, here's our portal housings and some hardware, which we probably won't need since we got the stock hardware. All right, so the stock guides are 2.31. That's for one side. And these aluminum ones, 4.79. So when you look at both sets, that's basically 4.62 on the stock and 9.58 on these guys. So definitely adding weight there. You know, again, more than double the weight. So pretty awesome. Yeah, these would be ideal to be brass though. Seems to fit in there real nice. Yeah, their machining and is super well done. It's very precise. There's like no slop in there, so that's pretty sweet. And if you have trouble getting a bearing in, just try to align it by putting a shaft in there. And then you can try to push it down in there with the shaft. You want it to be straight, right? You don't ever really want to force it. Don't forget this tiny little shim. And should go like so. You've got to make sure your shaft pin is seated properly in the gear all the way, or you're going to have issues. Alright, feels nice and smooth. Let's get our screws back in. Then we can really tell. One thing with the plastic portal housings I've noticed is if you over tighten these, they'll bind up. You can get some binding sometimes. So we'll see how tight we can get these. Again, you never want to over tighten anything, right? But you do want to make sure they're snug, especially now that we're going aluminum into aluminum. You don't want it to back out. Unless, of course, you're Loctiting, then you don't have to worry about that as much. But we're going to snug them pretty tight here, and we'll see how it feels, how the meshing and the axle feels, if there's any binding in there. Man, that feels good. Just a tiny bit of play in there. Just a little bit of play in there. But this play doesn't matter nearly as much as this play. But yeah, that seems good. Sweet. All right, let's do our other one. I'm not going to show that one. We're just going to do it because you already watched once.
More moments later.
All right, got them both done. Go ahead and throw them in our axle. Okay. Don't forget your bushings. You might have to just kind of spin your axle a little as you push it in until it locks in. And then you should be good to go. Yeah, these are exciting to put together. It's cool to feel the weight in the aluminum, and now it's like it's all metal, right? The gears, everything, metal. There's not a single piece of plastic on this thing. That's pretty sweet. And you're able to tighten them down pretty good, and you still got just enough to where it doesn't bind. I mean, that's sweet. Man, that's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, we got her all together. Nice and floppy, no binding. So that's good. And now we'll go ahead and do the links. These guys here. And let's go ahead and weigh them as well. So we'll do two fronts, or two lowers, sorry, and the upper. We're at 5.82 for those guys, and then the stock. We'll have to pull, interesting, all right, stock. 2.68. So again, double. It's looking like there's a pattern here. We have to pop out this piece here. screwdriver. Need something to push on. There you go. I didn't want to stab myself. Okay. I'm just checking to see if there's like a chamfered side. Kind of looks like this side is a little more chamfered, so we'll put the ball in through that side. Yeah, that went in way easy. So that's good. Then these guys, they just pop right on. Just a little bit of pressure, but should be easy enough. Worst case, use the table. And then we can screw it in. Oh man, I was really hoping that this was threaded. If this is threaded and this is threaded, then you can do 4-link on these guys. But because this isn't threaded, you can't do 4-link without having like a center adapter for the screw or putting a nut on the inside. If you threaded this side, it makes it way easier to do 4-link. But as it sits, only this side is threaded. So that kind of sucks. Maybe they can update that in the future. That would be a very good update and easy to do. Just thread both sides. Let's go ahead and put this guy in here. Should have gotten some of the aluminum links. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. The steering links. We're still on these wobbly plastic ones. That's okay. Didn't we say don't lose these? There we go. Jeez. Jeez. Where's the other one? So just a little tip to put these bushings back in if they fall out. You put a screwdriver through here, and then you go like that, and that lets you align it. Bam. Just like that. Simple as such. Same thing on this side. You can put it on. And bam. Way easier to align it like that. Alright, nice and tight. Wow, there's no binding, so that's good. Alright, we got our drive shaft back in. Make sure when you put your drive shaft together, you put it together in phase. Essentially that means the ear on this side and the ear on this side are the same. They're not like this one's over here and this one's over here. You want to make sure they're in phase, like so. That will prevent vibration. Alright, and our shocks. Make sure you check the chamfer, check to see if there's a chamfered side on your shocks. If they seem like they're not going on very easily. And worst case, you can use some pliers to just kind of snap them in. It's weird how sometimes they go on super easy, some of them do not want to go on without a lot of force. If you use pliers, just make sure you don't mar them up, right? Alright. Look at that bling. Bling, bling for real. Alright, we're going to go ahead and do the back. I'm not going to show There's nothing to really show on the back. It's exactly the same as the front. It's more simple than the front, right? And I guess I can weigh them. We'll do the full stock rear axle when I pull it off, and then when I put it back together before we put it on, we'll weigh that as well. And you'll have kind of both weights, both empty and full, I guess. It doesn't really matter because the weight difference is the same, but it is what it is. All right, we'll be back. You know, we've got this thing, and we haven't even been using it. We usually use it to disassemble stuff. Because it's way faster. And even sometimes assembling things, we just don't assemble all the way with it because there's no torque setting, so you can strip stuff out if you're not careful. But taking stuff apart, this guy is awesome. We've got a link to it in our description down below. It's actually in every video because it's one of our tools, so we list all that stuff down below, everything we kind of use, all of our bench stuff. All right. So, we're going to do the axle first and we'll come back to this. Again, I'm just going to show you the weights of the axle. All right, so the complete stock rear axle is 37.89.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Man, I just want to say that I put quite a bit of torque down on these guys, and there's no binding. I mean, it's just like buttery smooth. These are like Trio quality. Like, everybody rants and raves about how high quality and machine and precise Trio stuff is. This is fantastic. I mean, it feels good, it looks good, it fits good, everything is just like I said, just like butter. It's just awesome. All right, we're gonna weigh this. Let me get the last one more screw, and then we're gonna weigh it. So we were at 37.89, and now we're at 50.85, which is a 12, almost 13 gram difference. It's 12.96 gram difference. So pretty good. Definitely adds some weight, and again, it just looks good. It's quality. We're digging this stuff. All right, let's get it back in the truck along with our links, and then we're done with this one. It's gonna look sweet, I think. I mean, I'm stoked. Is that a word that kids use nowadays? Stoked. All right. Ooh, buddy. We definitely need to get the front links. This just doesn't look right with stock front links, steering links. Come on now, guys. All right, we got to get the gold one for sure. I almost forgot these guys. These are the +4s. Well, I don't know if they're +4. They're 4mm. Yeah, they're basically the same as the stocks. Maybe just a tad thicker. Here, let's look. 4.16. That's including the lip here. Remember, there's like a little lip on these guys. So if we do it without the lip, we're at 3.93. With the lip, 4.16. So a little more than 4. And then these guys, 3.77 and 4.13. So yeah, same size as stock. But I'll give you a little bit of weight and I guess durability, right? Does give you a little bit of weight on the outside, around the outside, around the outside. Nice and snug. Alrighty, guys. So here we have it. All blinged out. Remember, we were at 388 with all of this stuff before. And now we're at 426. And then when you add in here, let's add in the body, do the full weight and the battery. Now we're at 516. So 516, 517, which means we gained 38 grams. So not a ton. Again, we weren't going for weight, right? This is a monster truck. We weren't looking to add a bunch of weight. We just wanted to add some bling and durability, right? The aluminum durability, the high clearance links. Not that that's really monster trucky, but it's what they have. So threw that on there. Again, it's just about kind of durability, right? If we wanted to add weight, we would have gone with more brass, right? And we'll do that on the other truck with the other axles. We're going to show that in another video. If we have it, we'll put it over there. And that video is not going to probably be a full install video. It's just going to be a before and after, showing weights and checking out the performance gains from adding the weight. All right, we're going to get our body on here. And there she is. Look at that. Pretty slick. I mean, they're axles, right? Not going to see a ton of performance gain off of the axle housings, but man, they look good. I mean, they're definitely going to be more durable. Like I said, the added weight will be good. Anyway, I think it looks good with the black. Kind of about that. Not, like I said, I'm not really a gold fan, but the black looks good. Also, in hindsight, maybe the gold digger should have gotten all the gold. Maybe we messed up there. I think that should have been a thing. Tell me in the comments below if that's what we should have done. Maybe we'll get another set and put it on the gold digger. Get some gold wheels. I don't know. I don't know if I want to make it all gold, but could be fun. I wish we would have gotten the gold links with this. I know some people that got the gold digger got the gold front links for some reason. We did not. But need gold shocks, gold Furitech. That would have been pretty sweet. Get all the gold. But the accent. I like the gold accent, right? It's kind of underneath, kind of hidden. It's not in your face. Not too much anyway. Alrighty guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell. Do all those things you do at the end of a video. Why don't you put down in the comments below, Golden Nexx. Let's put Golden Nexx down in the comments below if you made it this far. Alrighty guys, get out there, build something awesome. Crash them, smash them, and bash them, but don't break the expensive parts. See you next time.